back with Alan Sears, the President, CEO, and General Counsel for Alliance Defending Freedom. Thank God for ADF. Alan, great to have you with us today. A businessman. Okay, a lot of business people watch us right now.
We talk about
what can business people do and not be
one of the
outside
other, and again,
religious discrimination in businesses. You're going to force your religion on us.
Every resource,
Bible study in the office. Tell us about the business world.
Well, again,
quick.
Every resource I talk about on our program is absolutely no cost. I'm not on here to sell books or anything, but we have a specific publication for business people about the rights of employers to exercise their faith in the workplace. And again, there is tremendous mythology. You know, some of the most outstanding businesses we mentioned earlier, you mentioned Hobby Lobby. The Green family openly has a chaplain that ministers to the people at Hobby Lobby that want to be ministered to. When there's a death in the family, when there's a crisis, when there's a loss, they're there to help. They have a medical unit over and above the health insurance plan that provides and cares for people in the name of Christ. They have a myriad of other programs. They close on Sunday and they say right on the door of every store, we close our stores so that the employees can spend Sunday at church and with their families. And there's so many business.
They have been so demonized by the press as being these horribly oppressive, careless,
and they pay
heartless.
And I don't know if they'd want me to say it, but they pay well over the minimum wage for starting salary. They're generous, good people. But I had a businessman the other day say, we were talking about Hobby Lobby, and he said, "But it's illegal to close on Sunday."
Oh my goodness!
I said, "Where did you come up with that?" With all due respect. And he said, "Well, everybody knows separation of church and state." I said, "Well, first of all, is your business the government?"
Yeah. Can we just stop for a second? This separation of church and state. Can you just make a definitive statement on that right quick? I mean, we get that thrown at us over and over and over again, and it's meaningless.
Well, I could give you the 2-hour lawyer answer, but I'll give you the 2-second layperson answer. It's not in the Constitution anywhere. It's a phrase from a letter of Thomas Jefferson that actually was written exactly the opposite of the way it used. Little history on it. Roger Williams wrote a letter and later became a book in Rhode Island back in the colonial period, and he said that we need protection, a wall of separation to keep the garden of the church protected from the intrusion of the state. So the wall he talked about that Jefferson picked up on was a wall to protect the church from the government. It had nothing to do with the government not being allowed to be influenced by people of faith or by the church. It's completely 100%. 180-degree backwards. If you were in school and you answered the true history question backwards, you'd flunk the class.
I mean, we can be about doing these large types of ministries, and then there's the clerk at the hotel counter or the person sitting next to you in the plane.
Every person we meet needs to know how they answer that question. Who is Jesus Christ?
Thank you. I mean, those words seem so empty to me right now. I mean, I hug you whenever I see you, but I can't hug you enough. Thank you. God has put you in this place for these last 21 years.
Well, we're thankful for you. We're thankful for the revival outside the wall ministry. We're thankful to all the McGuires and all you have done and your heart.
We're in this battle together. We fight it on different fronts, but it's the same battle.
And it's all about. We work to keep the door open for the gospel, and you work to walk through that door.
And do you sense that our time to do this work is shortening on us? I mean,
this will sound contradictory. There's no question it's shortening. There are many ways I think the best days for America's future lie in front of us, but the question is, how bad is it going to be in between that time?
Yeah. Church flourishes under persecution. It always has throughout all the ages. Even now in the Middle East, it's flourishing.
But we don't necessarily want to live through that.
That's right. We don't want to, but whatever it takes, Lord. I've never found in the midst of, you mentioned yesterday, best of times, worst of times. It is.
And we know this. Every day is one day closer to the trumpet sounding. Every day.
And it's never been easier to share your faith
And
than right now. It's never been easier.
And as the old preacher from Michigan used to say, perhaps tomorrow.
Perhaps tomorrow. He is Alan Sears, the president, CEO, and general counsel for Alliance Defending Freedom. Isn't he wonderful? Wow. Thanks for joining us.